We have been in France for more than 3 months now. Our little apartment in Pérol was only reserved for 90 days, and so we needed to find someplace else. We wanted more space, and so we found a 2-bedroom apartment in Latte that has a separate kitchen and a separate living room, which is a lot more comfortable. This apartment is also near the horses, and it is also at the end of the number 3 tram line. Latte is larger than Pérol and has more services and restaurants and infrastructure, but it's very suburban. It's like if France were to do Beaverton in Oregon, this is what they would do. The apartment is nice. It looks over a marina, has a boulangerie downstairs, is walking distance to a grocery store and a produce store, and the station for the tram line heading into Montpellier. Let's take the tram into Montpellier. It's a short walk, and it's a pretty day. As you can see, on a mid-Monday morning in January, there are not a lot of people on the tram. This morning I am getting off the tram at the Gare Saint-Roch station, which is next to the train station of the same name. Normally we would get off at Observatoire, which is closer to the apartment that we are buying. But I wanted to walk through Place de la Comédie. So what else is going on? We continue to take French lessons. Right now we're taking 3 lessons a week. They're online. We also use the Pimsleur app, but our functional usage of French is still quite limited, and our comprehension's pretty low in conversation. And it's because of that that I've chickened out and signed us up for driving lessons at a school that specializes in expats that speak English. The tests are in French, but for the theoretical test, we will have a translator in class reading out the questions and answers. There will not be a translator available in the practical test when we're in the car with the evaluator. And so we need to make sure we know enough French to be able to take directions and instructions from the examiner. Our French instructor is helping and has given us vocabulary and phrases and exercises that duplicate the sort of things that an examiner would say at a driving test. We have until October to get our French licenses because you are allowed a full year of using your US license when you move to France. But the tests are by reservation only. You can't just show up like you can at most states' DMVs and take a test. And the tests that allow for an English translator have a 4 to 5 month lead time. And so we need to learn the material now so that we'll be ready to take the test in late spring. And we need to factor in the possibility that we may not pass the first time. Many French people do not pass either driving test their first time through. Complicating things is the fact that the school is located in Paris. Fortunately, the learning material and the coursework and the practice exams are all done online, so we can do that here. The lease on our car expires in early April. And so sometime in March we need to buy a car. But because we have horses and want to tow a trailer, and because we live in downtown Montpellier, and because we don't have our own parking space with our apartment and we will need to lease a space from a public parking garage, that makes finding an appropriate vehicle a little more challenging. And so our new vehicle needs to meet the Crit Air 1 standard for downtown Montpellier. That means no diesels. It needs to be able to tow 2,400 kilograms. And it needs to fit in the relatively small parking spaces in the public garages. Alright, enough of the boring stuff. Look, there's our apartment again. And as you can see, our garden space is maintained by a professional firm. This is the street behind our apartment. You can see the trees for the garden on the other side of the wall, and our apartment building itself is on the other side of the garden, so that's not it right here. Alright, that's enough for today. That's all I got. Let's take the tram back to the apartment. As you can see, the trams are a lot more crowded in the mid-afternoon than they are in mid-morning.